Let's be real. The cost of a college degree is, well, it's staggering. But what if I told you there are these powerful, tax-advantaged tools out there designed to help you prepare? Well, there are. Today, we're going to break down two of the most popular education savings plans out there to help you figure out which one might be the right fit for your family.
We all know what we're up against. I mean, with the average cost of tuition at some private universities now pushing past $40,000 a year, just thinking about it can feel a little overwhelming. But you know what? Understanding your options is the first and honestly the most important step to putting a solid plan in place.
So, how do you actually do it? Where do you even begin to prepare for a cost like that? It's a question you're probably asking yourself right now, and believe me, you are definitely not alone.
But here's the good news. You don't have to invent a solution from scratch. There are financial tools that were literally built to solve this exact problem. And today, we're going to focus on two really powerful options that you absolutely need to know about.
Okay, so in one corner, we have the Coverdell Education Savings Account, which you'll probably just hear called an Education IRA. And in the other corner, the Section 529 plan, or just 529 plan for short. They might sound kind of similar, but trust me, their key differences are exactly what will help you pick the right one.
And here is the absolute best part, the most powerful feature they both share. They're investment plans that let your money grow and be withdrawn completely free from federal taxes, as long as you're using it for qualified education expenses. On top of that, a lot of states offer their own tax breaks for contributing. That is a huge, huge advantage.
All right, let's dive into our first option. We're calling this one the Flexible Education IRA, and for a really good reason, it's incredible versatility. You'll see what I mean.
So what is an Education IRA, or a Coverdell ESA? It's basically a savings account designed to cover a super wide range of school costs. Now, the contribution limit is $2,000 a year per kid, and there are some income limits for the people putting money in. But the real story here is where you can spend that money.
And this, right here, is the game changer. We're not just talking about college. This account can be used for tuition, books, uniforms, even tutoring for elementary school and high school. Think about that. Private K-12 tuition or special academic programs. That's a level of flexibility you just don't get with a 529 plan.
Okay, but that flexibility brings up a really good question. What happens if your kid gets a big scholarship, or maybe decides college isn't for them? Is all that money you saved just gone?
Nope, not at all. But you do have to follow a few simple rules. First, any money left over can be rolled over. Second, that rollover has to go into another Education IRA for a different family member. So if your oldest doesn't use it all, you can just pass it along to a younger sibling. The only real catch is that you have to do this before the original kid turns 30.
Okay, let's switch gears and talk about our second option, what we're calling the Powerful 529 plan. Because while the Education IRA is all about flexibility across all grades, the 529 is about bringing the big guns, focused specifically on higher education.
A 529 plan is a state-run investment program built to help families save for education after high school. And get this, unlike the Education IRA, the contribution limits are way, way higher, often topping $300,000 for a single beneficiary, depending on which state's plan you use. And the kinds of expenses it covers are pretty broad. We're talking tuition and fees, yeah, but also room and board, books, supplies, even a computer. And it's not just for traditional four-year colleges. It also works for vocational programs, graduate school, and trade schools. It's a really comprehensive tool. But wait, it actually gets a little more interesting. A 529 isn't just one single thing. Under that big 529 umbrella, there are actually two totally different ways to save.
So first up is the College Savings Plan. This is the one you hear about most often. It basically works like an investment account, and it's super flexible since you can use the money at pretty much any accredited college in the country. The second type is a prepaid tuition plan. This one's different. It lets you lock in today's tuition rates at specific in-state public colleges. It's an awesome way to protect yourself from rising tuition costs, but it's less flexible if your kid decides to go to an out-of-state or private school.
So, we've looked at the super flexible Education IRA and the heavy-hitting 529 plan. Now for the big question. How do you choose? Let's pull it all together so you can figure out the right path for you.
Let's start by just hammering home the single most important feature they both share. Your money grows without being taxed, and when you take it out for qualified expenses, those withdrawals are also tax-free. Seriously, over 18 years, that tax-free growth can mean thousands of extra dollars for school.
And this number right here says it all. Zero. Zilch. That's how much you'll pay in federal taxes on that money when you use it the right way. It's an incredibly powerful reason to save.
Okay, this chart really puts it all into perspective. On one side, you've got the Education IRA. Its superpower is flexibility, right? Covering everything from kindergarten all the way to college. But just remember, that contribution limit is low. Then on the other side, the 529 plan is the heavyweight champion for higher education. You can save a whole lot more, and you get to pick between that flexible savings plan or the security of a prepaid tuition plan.
So at the end of the day, it really just boils down to this. Are you thinking about maybe needing to cover private school costs before college, while the Education IRA gives you that K through 12 flexibility? Or are you laser focused on saving a big chunk of money specifically for a university or trade school degree? Then the 529 plan is probably what you're looking for.
So as we wrap this up, the question really comes back to you. Thinking about your own family and what you're planning for, which of these paths makes the most sense? A great next step is to look up the income limits for the Coverdell ESAs and start researching the specific 529 plans your state offers. Thanks for joining me for this breakdown.